All right, you guys, we are back and we are live. Welcome back to our daily live feed. As you're logging on, if you'd like to come work with me, suitsandposing.com is where you have to go. We do hair, makeup, suits and posing, all the fun stuff when it comes to competing. And as you're getting logged on tonight, say hello, what's up? Welcome, welcome. If you're logging on Instagram, that's great. But we are live also on YouTube and Facebook, which is a better experience because you can see photos, all of that. If you're on Instagram and you need to get over to YouTube, click on the link tree, drop down there. We'll tell you how to get to our YouTube channel. Say hi when you get on. What's up? Shawana Aurelia's here. Who else is here? Say hello. And as we're waiting for everybody to get logged on, I always wait about 3 minutes. Up here in the corner, we got our website QR code. That's to SeansCoutureCuties.com. So if you need hair and makeup, if you need a suit, or if you need posing coaching, we do all that. And you can go right to that website up there, and that will get you started on the right path. What else? We don't have a show this weekend, but we have Masters Nationals next weekend. So that's coming up. What's up, Raven? And as I said, we're going to wait for everybody to get logged on today. But while we're waiting, what's up, Lexi? Did you guys happen to see that Mr. Tyler Mannion himself did a wrap-up of the Republic of Texas? Part 1 is out. I haven't checked in a little bit, so maybe they may have put out more parts since then. But part 1 is out. How many of you guys saw it? It's been shared all over social media. Type in and tell me if you saw it. Just watched it, right? Yep. What's up, Brandy? What's up, Amanda? Yeah, we're going to preview Atlanta, Vancouver, and Governor's Cup tonight. And but before we do that, we're going to talk a little bit about the fact that Tyler did just post a recap of Republic of Texas. So I thought it was very interesting because he said exactly what I said last night, basically. Like verbatim. Yeah, like verbatim. One of the things that he mentioned at the beginning is something that I tell you guys all the time, that if I'm not there in person and we're just going through photos and things like that, that it, take everything with a grain of salt because I'm not actually there. And there's things that you can't see in photos that happen there live. You know what I mean? He definitely made that very clear. I definitely make that very clear every time that I do one of these lives with you guys. I say it all the time. If I'm there in person, that's different. I give you my full honest opinion. Whenever I'm at a show in person, I get as close to the head judges' seats I possibly can, so I can see what they are seeing. But he's right in that regard. You cannot judge a show just on pictures. So there's a lot of times I'll say, this is what I see here in the photo, but I could be wrong. It could have been different in person, right? So there's that. But in part 1, he went into reviewing the wellness lineup, the top 4 from wellness from Republic of Texas, and essentially said exactly the same things that I said last night. I just love being validated. I was like, perfect. I was like, this is fantastic. And guys, I am so happy that he put that out there, and I'm hoping that they do more of this, because all it does is it really helps you guys see that there is a method to the madness, right? There is actual structure behind the judging. Of course, it's subjective, and some people are going to see it a little bit differently than others. That's just to be expected. But it's not just one of these things that's just out in no man's land. There is a rhyme or reason to why they choose everything. There is a reason why people win and a reason why people don't, So I haven't seen anyone comment about the placements. Maybe I overlooked posts about it in the other than this video. I've seen other wrap-ups that that said different things. We'll say that. We'll say that much. But yeah, literally to a T, His was more of like the Reader's Digest version. I went in a little bit deeper because I pulled up pictures, all those kinds of things, and showed you guys. But he said exactly the same things I said. Just saying. I'm just saying. I mean, he gave really good critiques. They were the exact same things that we talked about here. Yes, correct. Johnny Styles is one of them that does them. Yes. So, you know, just saying. I want the judges to come out and talk about this stuff more often because, again, it just gives competitors a much clearer view of what they are seeing, right? It's not some big mystery. If you have an educated eye and you understand what's going on in the sport, it's very clear why some people win and other people don't. It's very, very clear, right? I was nodding my head with everything he was saying, like, yep, Sean said that. Yep, Sean said that too. What can I say, you guys? I kind of know what I'm talking about. I've been doing this for 13 years at this point. I've been around a little bit. You know, I tell people all the time, I have a history in the sport, not just as a competitor. I was a judge at one time. Don't do it anymore, but I was a judge at one time. You know, I've done this. I've been there. I've seen it all, right? And I don't say that to brag. I say that because I'm a student of the sport. I pay attention, right? I pay attention to what's being rewarded. I pay attention to what they are doing on stage. If I am telling you something, yes, it's my opinion. Absolutely is. But it has been derived by education in the sport. I still go talk to judges at every show. I still go get feedback at every show. I don't just assume things, right? Sean, you know it. I do. Yep. Uh-huh. You're networking with people. Yep. You're gonna put those arms away. my guns. I'm getting there. I think so. I woke up this morning. We'll see what I weigh tomorrow. Tomorrow's the weigh in. We'll talk about that tomorrow when we go through all that stuff. But I dropped like 4 pounds as of this week. We'll see what I look like tomorrow and what that scale looks like tomorrow. But I was shocked when I looked at the scale today. I was like, that's a lot in a week. So we'll see. That might have just been, I don't know what that was. I don't know what it was, but it's close. It's almost 4 pounds. So no big deal. It might have just been a fluke this morning, though. We'll see, because I've not seen it that low in a while. So we'll see if it does that again. Tomorrow's my official weigh-in day. So anyway, so with that, we're going to talk about the shows coming up this weekend. There's 3. And we're going to preview those and the girls that we should be looking at, the ones that we should be paying attention to. So let's go ahead and share. Which one did I pull up first? Not that one. Okay. So I pulled up Vancouver. We're not going to go really in depth into Vancouver at all because it's a very small lineup. They do have quite a few pro divisions. They've got men's open, they've got classic, they've got men's physique, fitness, figure. And I'll say just out of the gate, Autumn is probably your front runner for figure. And they've got Bikini. And I mean, obviously right away you see here in Bikini is Ashley. So she's obviously going for win number 41 here. And from what I can see on the list, I mean, I don't think she's going to have any problems with that. I honestly don't know any of these competitors here. Most of them obviously are Canadian, but I don't know. I think this is probably win number 41. Just saying. She's the one that I pulled up. That's all I got for Vancouver, you guys. That's all I got. I don't know who's actually judging this, but I know that Ashley has actually won this show in the past. So I know she's going for it again, right? Look at this. Look at her competition years here. She's got 2011, 12, 13, 14, 15. She's got all the way up. You can see all of her competition history right here. That's crazy. Anyway, so that's Vancouver in a nutshell. All right. Let's talk about Linda Murray next. Okay. Now, let's see. Curious to see how this is a pretty view, I believe. Pretty views. Lots of pretty views, Brandy. Just saying. So we got Linda Murray, which this is a big list, right? This is a big list in Linda Murray. So this is kind of wide open here. I pulled up a few names that we know, and then there's just a lot of girls on here that may make some noise, that may not. There's going to be some surprises, I think, coming out of this whole situation. Plus, we've got Masters Bikini in this one too. So quite a few of these girls are Masters competitors as well. So always take that into account whenever you're looking at this stuff. I mean, yes, they all pretty much have crossed over into the Open, but these are the girls you're looking at that are in the 40 plus, as well as Open. And so right off the bat, off the top, I've got Alessia. So Alessia is Olympia qualified. This was the Orchid Pro. She won this right before the Arnold. And then she came into the Arnold and she was shredded. Way too lean. She's been off stage since the Arnold. You know, she's one of these ones that typically competes a lot throughout the year. But I think she probably realized after the Arnold that she needed to take some time off. Her physique was really, really dwindling quite a bit. I believe she's got a new coach now, things like that. Initially, she would be, you know, your front runner because she is Olympia qualified, but I don't necessarily think that means a whole lot here. I think that, yeah, we got a bunch of pro debuts too. I think that she could easily be better at this show, but I don't think this is like a slam dunk win for her at all. So, yeah, she changes coaches a lot. She absolutely does. And I think I can't remember who she's with now. I don't know who she's with now. She just changed coaches again. So we'll see. It's been a while since she's been on stage. We haven't talked about her in a while. We used to be talking about her every single week because she competed so much. But she hasn't been on stage for quite a bit. So maybe she'll come back with some significant improvements. And then maybe she'll take home another win. But I don't think this is a slam dunk win for her by any stretch of the imagination. She's just the only one here on this list that's actually Olympia qualified at this point. Next, we have Tara, you know, we've been talking about her several times. She just competed this last week. You know, our critiques always of her is she's either, if she comes in too full, her waistline blows out. If she comes in with her waistline tight, then the rest of her is too tight. So she's always like right down, she's got to find this right down the middle spot. She doesn't have the most genetically gifted front pose here. I mean, you can see she's got a thicker waistline. So, you know, I know I've been watching and paying attention. She's been tweaking her front pose a bit, trying to get that to be the best aesthetic front pose that she can. I don't know what she can do in a week's time in order to do better at this show. One of the things big time that she could do is get a darker tan. That's one thing she could do for sure. I mean, you can even see in this photo that her face is darker than her body. So, you know, I think that's one thing that could definitely help her. We'll see. She's got a fantastic glute shot when it's full. When it's not, it's just too hard. So this could be a good show for her. It could be not. I expect to see her in the top call out. Probably in the same kind of zone that she's been in, you know, somewhere between that 3, 4, 5 range, that kind of thing. But who knows? She could pop it out and get a win. Since she does come in a little bit more conditioned, so does Alessia usually. They may compare well to each other. Who knows? Next, we have Ashley Hampton, who just competed this past weekend as well against Ashley Kaltwasser. We just talked about her last night. I felt like from these photos that she came in softer than her last showing, which was Charlotte, which I believe she needed to do. Talked about how she's fuller here, which was good too. From the back, she needs a little bit more glutes. But overall, this is a good package for her. Something I didn't mention last night, but I'm going to mention now is her suit top. That is way too small. Her bottoms are fine. When I did mention that last night. Her bottom cut's good. Her top cut is too small here. She needs to cover herself up a little bit more. It's a little bit on the edge of almost being showing too much kind of thing. So I would definitely get a bigger suit top if I was her. And I don't know, as far as improvements from last week, maybe just tweak the back pose a little bit. We talked about that last night. Get a little bit more of that X frame going on in the back and see if she can pop those glutes up a little bit higher. And that's about the only change that I would make, other than probably do a new suit top. That's what I would do. So she could definitely be in your winner's circle here. Again, she just did take second place to Ashley Kaltwasser, so she could definitely be in the winner's circle here. But I think she's gonna have a fight on her hands for sure. And the last girl that I brought up was Adair. So I did speak to her coach. She is doing this show. I asked because she was on 2 different lists. So she is doing Linda Murray. She's not doing Governor's Cup. So I felt like this was Adair's best package that I've seen all year. Probably the best balance, the fullest that she's been. Probably one of the more conditioned looks as well. If I was her, I'd probably just try to bring the same thing back. In this lineup, this could be a winning look right here. This could be a winning look. So I think that she's got her front pose pretty well balanced in comparison to what she used to have. Her back pose at the last show was a lot better than what I saw at DC Pro-Am. So she could definitely be in your top 2 here at this show for sure. We'll see how that plays out. Rooting for my girl Denitra. So I know Denitra watches our live feeds all the time, so she'll probably see this. So good luck to Denitra. Yeah, there's a few girls that are coming on stage in this show that haven't been on stage for a while. And then there's some pro debuts as well. There's a lot of girls on this list that could come out and kind of surprise us and things like that too. So did I miss anybody on here that has placed a top 5? I just scanned this list real quickly and pulled up some of the girls that I've seen in the last couple of shows. Did I miss anybody? Somebody tell me if I missed somebody. Is there anybody here that... Lizzie Martinez has been in the first call-outs the last few shows, but has been right outside the top 5. But I'm not sure about anybody else. There's a lot of names on this list I don't know. But that's your Atlanta show. So again, this is gonna be a good show right here. I like shows like this because there's not a clear-cut winner coming into the show. There's a lot of girls here with potential, and then there's a lot of new girls too, where they can come out and kind of shine a little bit, right? So we'll see how this goes for these girls. I don't think it's a slam dunk win for anybody here. And I think if somebody just comes in with a little bit of an improvement from the last couple of weeks, then they could definitely pull out a win here at this show. So that's my 2 cents on Linda Murray. Next, we're going to go over to Governor's Cup. Okay, so Governors is another one that's a pretty stacked show. Smaller than Linda Murray, but it's got a lot more top 5ers here. So I'm going to stop calling that one for a minute while I'm watching. It's too funny, Gracie. For those of you that don't know, Gracie is a firefighter over here. So yeah. No emergencies right now. None. Okay, so for Governor's Cup, first person I pulled up was Maya. So Maya has been placing the top 5. This last show, she did not. This last show, I think she was 7th, 8th. What was it? She was in the first call out. She was 7th. But I felt like she was too conditioned at this show. And they definitely rewarded fuller physiques at the show. So, I felt like this was also the case at the last show she was in. I felt like she was too conditioned as well. So what I would do if I was her is try to really fill this out. If you could fill out the glutes specifically, that would make a huge difference. But you can kind of see she's a little bit hard through the quads here, a little bit hard through the shoulders and the arms. Pop everything through here. Pop the back pose with some more fullness, and she could easily move back up into that top 5. So she's definitely one to be watching at this particular show. Then we have Ariel, who we talked about a little bit. She, again, was top call out at this show, but dropped out of the top 5. She is an ex-Olympian. And she's had issues with conditioning. I felt like her conditioning was okay here. I think she still could be a little bit tighter. I think she's still a little bit soft through the legs. But my main issue with Ariel here is the pose. See how she's kicking forward in this pelvis? Her pelvis should be pushing backwards. See how her oblique here is actually V'd forward. Because it's doing that, it's making her look really top heavy, making her look like her upper half is bigger than her lower half. And actually, to me, it makes her look thin, makes her look skinny. And she's not skinny. It's just the pose itself. She needs to take this pelvis and push it back, pop the glute up in the air. If she pops that glute up in the air, that's going to put her in a much better balance overall in this whole front pose. From the back, I felt like her glutes are really overpowering. We talked about that a little bit last night. Glutes look great, but just in comparison, her glutes were overpowering from her upper half. So she's got 2 separate problems. In the front pose, her upper half's too big. In the back pose, her lower half's too big. So I think a lot of this can just be fixed through A, she's got to come in a little bit tighter on her lower half, but B, she's got to fix her poses, right? If she does that, she's going to be hard to beat because those glutes are phenomenal. Those glutes are phenomenal. She can come in a little bit tighter and pose it right. So we'll see what happens. One more week to get a little bit tighter, absolutely could happen. Absolutely could happen. So and Marioli's competing again. She was top 5. We just talked about her. She's kind of the opposite problem here. She's kind of lacking in her upper body a little bit in comparison to her lower. I do feel like she needs to tweak her poses too. I don't think that this is the most flattering front pose in the world. I think she could get a bigger suit top, and I think she needs more shoulders here. Lower half, I think, is okay. I think her conditioning was okay too, but she looks a little bit depleted and all of that from the waistline up. Even the waistline looks a little bit grainy to me, a little bit too hard. So maybe just fill out a little bit and try to pump the shoulders a lot, just to kind of get the upper and the lower half to match on fullness, and fix the posing a little bit too. So that's my 2 cents here. Definitely could be up in the top 5 again. And then we have Brittany Gillespie, who's been kind of up and down this year. She came off of that second place to Amy, which was her pro debut. So that got her a lot of attention. And then she's been kind of like this ever since. A lot of this with her, I think, is presentation. I think she's got a phenomenal physique. And I've mentioned this to a few people because they've asked me what I think the issue is with her. I think right now she's like a sum of parts. People used to say this a lot about LaToya Watson, that she just had these amazing delts and amazing quads and blah, blah, blah. And if she could ever get everything to just kind of flow together, that she'd be amazing. And she was. She ended up winning the Figure Olympia. But for a long time, she was struggling because she was just a sum of parts. And I feel like that's what we got going on here with Brittany right now. So if she can get the whole body to flow together a little bit better, and I think a lot of that has to do with her posing and her presentation, I think that she's going to be very, very good. A lot of this is just a matter of coming in a little bit tighter on the legs and tweaking these poses a little bit. I'm not a huge fan of the black suit. This particular makeup look wasn't great. There's lots of little things that if they get on point, she could easily move up. So I'm curious to see what kind of changes she's going to bring this time to this show, and if it's going to be enough to get her up into the top couple of placings here. Because I do think she has the potential to do that. And I've said that from the get-go. I think she has the potential to win a show this year. She's just got to nail all those little things. So let's see what happens. And we have Brandy Lewis Reed. Had to give my girl a shout out here on our live feed with us. making her pro debut. So we have been working with Brandy for how many years now? A long time. I want to say, like, has it been 4 years? It's been what, since 2019? Since 2019? Not sure. So let's go, Brandy. Yes, let's go, Brandy. So her pro win was I got Brandy, you're ahead of me. I got her on there. I talked to Jamie. Y'all know I'm in the know. Y'all know I'm in the know. Yeah, so this is a pro debut for Brandy. So she won the overall at nationals. So coming into this show as that first kick off the heel dust into the new league, and let's see where we go, where we land. Looking phenomenal. So we're going in head first into one of the stronger lineups of the year. Fantastic. But I'm looking forward to seeing her up on stage. I think she's going to do phenomenal. And we'll see from here what we do. You know, this is the, like I said, you can't do anything wrong on your pro debut, right? It's your first time out. Go out, have fun, enjoy yourself. If something happens, great. If something doesn't, it's not a big deal either. So just pick up your feet and go forward, right? So you get a one show pass in the pro league, right? So wish her all congratulations and good luck. And here we go this weekend. This is it, right? So there's Brandy. And then we got Crystal coming in. So Crystal is qualified for the Olympia already. She has not won anything here in the States, however. She won her first pro show over in Europe. So I feel like Crystal still has some posing things she needs to work on. She's got a ton of muscle. So she's got to pose this a little bit differently. She looks really, to me, this looks really blocky from the front. There's a lot of her posing that she does that's from like circa like 2019. So she just needs to update some of that stuff. Hopefully she's gotten some good feedback in the last few shows, and we'll see what she does coming into it. But she's definitely on the more muscular side here. So even though she is qualified for the Olympia, I wouldn't say that she's like a slam dunk winner here. Same thing that I said about Alessia. I don't think this is a slam dunk win. I don't think any shows are a slam dunk win, period. But, you know, I don't think that she's unbeatable, right? So you can wear your bottoms backwards on your pro debut. Like Karen, you can wear your shirt. Karen, you can wear your bottoms backward. Don't put that into anybody's heads. So we got Crystal competing too. And then we've got Jordan. See, I was ready for this. Brandy. I got it. So Jordan just competed this past weekend in Battle of Texas. 4th place, coming off of that, going into this. So, we talked about her last night, and just needs to come a little bit tighter, I think, through the glutes. I would probably tweak the front pose just a touch and fill out the shoulders a little bit, that kind of thing. But she's very, very close. I was actually really happy with her glute look. I thought that was one of the better glute looks I've seen from her, period. So I'm curious to see what she does coming into this show and what improvements she will make. But again, I expect to see her up in the top call out, fighting for the win here. I would assume probably in those top 3 spots. And it could be, who knows? Could be her show. Let's see. So there's our Vancouver, but that's our Governor's Cup. So that's the Governor's Cup lineup. Now, again, there's a lot of girls on this list that I did not pull up that could be, one that comes out and does something. Actually, I think that Mia, didn't we just talk about Mia yesterday? Is she the one that just placed at Patriots too? I'm pretty sure that's her. Hang on, let me do that real quick. Pretty sure that was her. Did I miss her? No. Let's see. Yeah. Yep, I did. So Mia just placed in Patriots too. She just placed 4th. So we just talked about her yesterday as well. She's the one that I mentioned. She needed to kind of grow some arms, just Just overall, she was a little washed out through the waistline. Not a huge fan of the suit or the suit cut or the suit color on her. Shoulders to me just overpowered everything here. She just needs some extra size on the arms and on the legs and glutes, that kind of thing. So we'll see how she fares here. A few little posing tweaks and things like that too. So some presentation details for sure. But then just some size in general. So she's another one to be paying attention to as well. Did I miss anybody else? Did I get everybody? I think I got everybody. So this is a good size show. Some really good competition. Like, again, I like these shows where there's not a clear cut, like this girl's going to probably win it, you know. There's a lot of girls here that we've seen in the 2, 3, 4 spots, that kind of thing. So this should be a good battle. It should be a good fight, right? And it just should be, the judging should be really good too. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to say it exactly, but like whenever you've got favorites going in, you know, sometimes you're like, oh, they're just going to win it, you know? But I felt like, and like we were talking about the Republic of Texas, you know, going into it, you would think that India would automatically be a favorite, but she didn't end up winning, right? So I like when the judging is judged, you know what I mean? So going back to what we were talking about at the beginning of this, if you missed the beginning of this live feed, Tyler put out a wrap up, the first part at least, of Republic of Texas, talking about wellness. And literally, he was the head judge at that show and literally said the exact same things about the girls that I said last night. So, just saying. Just saying. That's all I got to say. So, do any of you guys have any questions or anything you wanted to add in here? Who are your picks? Who do you have picked for Atlanta? Who do you have picked for Vancouver? And who do you have picked for Governor's Cup? I think that anybody who bets against Ashley Kaltwasser in Vancouver is probably not very smart. I would not bet against Ashley Kaltwasser, just saying. But what about Atlanta? What about Governor's Cup? They're kind of don't know, right? Don't know. Put in your 2 cents. Put in your 2 cents. This is your opportunity right here. Who you got? I couldn't type it quick enough. Yeah. I feel like everybody's comments are lagging today a lot. There's typically there's a delay between when I talk and when I get your comments in. But it feels like it's really long today for some reason. I didn't plug my mic in today, so hopefully the audio is okay. I had to keep my phone plugged in because I was losing battery. I had a bunch of back-to-back posing clients today, so my phone was dying, so I had to keep my phone plugged in. So hopefully y'all could hear me okay this time. But also, as you're putting your 2 cents in, who you've got. Do we have live feeds? Do we have live feeds for these shows? Brandy top 5 with Jordan for the win at Governor's Cup. I like that. I like that. I would assume there's probably a live feed for Governor's Cup. Or I'm sorry, not for Governor's Cup, for Linda Murray. Let's see. So let me go to Atlanta does 40. Yeah, I figured Atlanta would. That made sense. Governor's Cup. I don't see anything for Governor's Cup unless I'm missing it. So if there's not one for Governor's Cup, I'm assuming people will be going live on Instagram and stuff like that. Rooting for Maya. Yeah, and I'm wondering about Vancouver. Van Pro Show. Let's see. Oh, whoops. There is one for Vancouver. Man, the freaking Canadian live streams are really expensive. They're really expensive, man. I don't know if it's just Canadian money or what, but man, they're expensive. Whew, for a show. They charge, I'm looking at the pricing, it's freaking $50 for prejudging and then $60 for finals. I'm sorry, no, for pro show, it's $70 for the pro show finals. Oh, Lord in heaven. $50 for prejudging and $70 for finals at Vancouver for their live stream. Y'all. That's expensive for even a ticket to go see it live. I'm sorry. Just gonna say that right now. Just gonna say that right now. I want to rethink that one. Canadians. That's nuts. Where's the website for the Atlanta one? I don't see it. What's the actual address? Oh, is it under Wings of Strength? Let me see. Yeah, you might as well be there in person. Exactly, right? No, not for in-person tickets. That's for live stream. Yeah, that's for live stream. Yeah, I don't understand why. I don't understand why you separate the costs for prejudging and finals on a live stream. That's freaking nuts. And just not for nothing, but and I know that they're doing it probably because they have open men, but still. Linda Murray is 40, which that makes sense. It's still expensive for a live stream for a show. I feel like live streams for shows should be about at most $30, but probably $19.99. $19.99 is a good price. You could go to $25.99 if you've got some higher pro divisions in it, like open men, that kind of thing. But trying to charge $70 for a live stream for finals is just silly. Just silly, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. Not like I'm right all the time or anything. Anyway, so it'll be a fun weekend of shows regardless of which live streams you decide to go on and which ones you don't. It'll be a fun live stream weekend. So it's going to be interesting. I will be back on live again tomorrow night. Tomorrow night is our prep update, workout, training, off season, all of the questions, live feed. So come on tomorrow night for that. We'll probably have some more footage from Tyler at that point, I would guess, from the wrap up from Republic of Texas too. So that would be kind of cool. Maybe we can compare notes again. Not a bad thing when the head of the organization, the vice president of the organization, says the exact same things that you do. Brush your shoulders off. Just saying. With that, you guys, I hope you all have had a fantastic week. We'll be back again tomorrow, 8:15, same time, same place. Bring your questions, bring your prep questions, bring all those questions, because we have trainers that come on at the same time, all those kinds of things, okay? So that's what tomorrow is for. Yeah, it's more than the Olympia. Yeah, it's more than the Olympia. Just crazy. It's crazy. Yep. Anyway, y'all Canadians are nuts. Anyway, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your night. I'm going to let y'all go, and we'll see you back here again tomorrow night, 8:15. Good night, you guys.